Ladies and gentlemen, on this day, July 19th, 1998, Jim and Bob, your investigative team, are going to try to crack the mystery that has boggled the minds of mankind through the ages.
We will attempt to identify the true identity of the greatest superhero to ever walk the streets of the earth, Captain Somerville.
Now, as you may know, Captain Somerville appeared at the girls' high school varsity basketball games here at Somerville High School about 3 years ago. Has boggled viewers ever since. Who he is, where he came from, what he does. Nobody seems to know. I've never met him. Bob, you've met him on several occasions.
In fact, over the next several minutes, we will talk to residents of Somerville who have claimed to come in contact with Captain Somerville.
And if you at home have met the superhero, know anything about him, his identity, what he does, where he came from, please come down to the girls' high school varsity basketball games at the home gym. Talk to Jim and Bob as we try to piece this mystery together. And Bob, I think we should get going.
Let's do it.
Besides Mike Capuano, Captain Somerville is the most recognized public figure in this community. He is admired by many important city officials and citizens. However, not everyone in Somerville is a fan of the superhero. Jeff Argenziano, the Assistant Program Director at the Executive Office of Communications in City Hall, explains.
Jeff Argenziano, now you've directed several of the Somerville High School girls varsity basketball...
All of them, actually.
All of the Somerville High School girls varsity basketball games here at the Fieldhouse Gym. I'm sure you have seen, possibly met, encountered, and even spoken with Captain Somerville. What can you tell us about the superhero?
Captain Somerville's a wimp. Last year in an interview at halftime, he brought out Courtney the Hunter Hudgens. She said she had a sprained Achilles tendon, which kept her out of preseason in the first few games of the season. He said it was sprained. Actually, what I find out from inside information from Chip Cody, there was actually a torn Achilles tendon that Captain Somerville did with his own 2 hands. Ripped her Achilles tendon into shreds. You call that a superhero? I think not.
I know very little about Captain Somerville. I've only caught glimpses of him over periods of time because most of the time I'm involved in my own basketball games, and on an occasion we've had players missing that I've heard, thanks to the efforts of Captain Somerville, they've been found, all safely thus far down through the years. But, I've never really met the man or woman. I'm just not sure. Some of the get-up that I see that person wearing, I believe it's a man. Never met Captain Somerville. I've brushed up against him once, but, I've never, I couldn't. He's just an overwhelming figure. I mean, I'm too much in awe just thinking about him even here today.
Do you know?
My daughter, who comes to a number of the games, my 12-year-old, Katie, she keeps a close eye on these things, and she starts to think that either they're related or they're the same person, Captain Somerville and Jim Muncie. But I just haven't been able to gather enough facts to prove that or not.
Captain Somerville has dedicated his life to serving the Highlander community. The investigation was going nowhere. Fortunately, Bob came upon a unique individual who provided a ray of hope.
Excuse me, sir? Sir, I'd like to ask you a few questions, please. Sir? Oh, no! Oh!
What?
Yes, well, we're doing an investigation. We're trying to find out the true identity of Captain Somerville. I was wondering, since you're a Somerville resident, sort of, do you know Captain Somerville?
Yeah,
Have you
I
seen
know.
him? You do know him?
I know Captain Somerville. Lives in a subway tunnel between Wellington and Sullivan Square.
Really?
Yeah,
That's his home.
that's his home.
That's a breakthrough.
I know him. Ugly, like, I got a boil on my butt.
No.
That's better looking than Captain Somerville. The ugly, terrible.
I know. Well, how do you know him? Have you
He's
actually
a great guy.
You actually talked to him?
He's a great guy, and I talked to him. We're friends. We're like this. I talked to him. He's a great guy. I used to be a mess. I used to be a mess, and he helped me. Look at
Really?
me today. I was I was in bad shape till Captain Somerville helped me out.
This is an improvement.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, he's a great guy, but ugly. Like, I got this. You want to see the boil?
No.
I got a boil on
Listen, just tell me one thing. Just tell me one thing.
What?
Do you know who he really is?
Yeah. Well, I told we're like this. We're friends.
Can you tell me?
No. We're pals. I can't tell you who he is, but he's ugly. Jeez, he's ugly.
You sure you can't tell me?
I can't tell. Great guy though. He helped me. He helped me a lot.
All right.
He really did. You know, he helped me a lot.
I know.
I was in bad shape.
I
and he helped me.
Thank
I'm
you for
much
your
better.
thank you for your help.
Well, Bob, after a grueling investigation all afternoon here in the city of Somerville and a bunch of interviews, we didn't really find out too much about Captain Somerville. We had one fine gentleman tell us where he lives. That's new information. Didn't really find out what he does, where he came from. Some theories about who he might be, ironically one of them being me, which obviously is bizarre. Not much more, so I'm not sure if it's successful or not.
Well, the fact of the matter is, Jim, whether you love Captain Somerville or you hate Captain Somerville, I think he's going to be here for a long time. So we just have to embrace him as a superhero that he is.
Right. And if you want to meet Captain Somerville, the best way to do that is to come down to the girls' high school varsity basketball games here in the Fieldhouse Gym.
And that'll wrap up our investigation for now. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jim and Bob reminding you
To always hug a Highlander.
let's go watch the game.
Right.